Imagine waking before dawn in a world where survival was never guaranteed, where every day carried invisible threats that could strike without warning. For medieval women, life was a battlefield even inside their own homes. The paradox is stark. In a society obsessed with wars and kingdoms, the quiet dangers of daily life for women were often deadlier than the clash of swords outside the castle walls. Childbirth alone could end a life that had already endured hunger, exhaustion, and relentless labour. Imagine balancing the care of a household with tending livestock, fetching water from icy streams, foraging, spinning wool, and baking bread, all while knowing that a minor injury or infection could become fatal. And here's the cruel twist. The same hands that sustained a family could be blamed for misfortune, cursed by superstition, or denied protection by law. Yet women adapted, surviving through cunning, skill, and resilience. This is the untold story of endurance, a daily struggle so intense that our modern comforts make it almost unimaginable. To understand it, we must step inside the shoes of medieval women, feel the rhythm of their days, the weight of responsibility, and the ingenuity that kept life going in the harshest of circumstances. Their survival was never guaranteed, and yet they persisted. Medieval society was unforgiving. Life expectancy was low, disease rampant, and labour gruelling. For women, the dangers began at birth and followed them through every stage of life. Marriage was often a survival strategy rather than a romantic choice, and widows faced vulnerability both socially and economically. Yet the daily routines that seem mundane today were critical skills for staying alive. Women cultivated gardens to supplement scarce food, preserved fruits and vegetables to withstand winter, and brewed ale, not just for consumption, but because water sources were frequently contaminated. Medical knowledge was rudimentary, and household remedies were often the only defence against infection, fever, or parasites. Childbirth could be fatal, yet women served as midwives, relied on herbal treatments, and learned techniques passed through generations to safeguard life. Beyond survival, women maintained networks of support, exchanging advice and bartering resources, creating community safety nets where law or military protection could not reach. Understanding this context reveals that the medieval world was a complex system where survival required constant negotiation with the environment, social norms, and unpredictable forces. The ingenuity of women was both a response to necessity and a form of resistance against the relentless pressures of medieval life. Here's the clever part. Survival depended on skill, strategy, and timing. Take food, for example. A single winter could wipe out crops, so women mastered preservation techniques, smoking, salting, and fermenting to extend edibility. Grain had to be ground meticulously, bread baked in communal ovens, and meals stretched to feed entire families on limited supplies. Clothing required mastery too. Linen and wool were layered, repaired, and even repurposed to provide warmth in unheated stone homes. Hygiene was not just about comfort. Avoiding lice, fleas, and infections was a matter of life and death. Water had to be boiled, herbs grown for medicinal purposes, and fevers treated before they became fatal. Childcare involved constant vigilance, understanding nutrition, and managing risks that modern parents rarely face, like contaminated milk or frozen water sources. Even social intelligence was a survival tool. Knowing when to negotiate with neighbours, when to curry favour with landlords, or when to protect oneself from superstition and accusation. Every movement, every decision was calculated to mitigate risk. In essence, medieval women operated like survival engineers, using observation, experience, and experimentation to navigate a world designed to overwhelm those who lacked these skills. What can this teach us today? Modern life has insulated us from danger, but it has also eroded practical self-reliance. The same principles that sustained medieval women, resourcefulness, adaptability and observation, remain essential in emergencies. Knowing how to preserve food, manage water, or prepare remedies might seem archaic, yet in situations of crisis, these forgotten skills could mean the difference between life and death. Beyond survival, there is wisdom in time management, balancing labour with rest, and maintaining social networks as medieval women did. Their world demanded resilience not just of body, but of mind, a clarity of priorities shaped by immediate necessity rather than abstract goals. Applying this logic today encourages sustainable living, resource conservation, and mindful attention to our surroundings. In essence, understanding medieval survival equips us with strategies for energy efficiency, self-reliance, and problem-solving that are increasingly relevant in a world facing climate change, economic uncertainty, and social disruption. The past becomes a toolkit for resilience, showing that even in the harshest conditions, skill and ingenuity can create stability. Reflecting on this, we see that survival in the medieval world was not determined by luck alone, but by knowledge, skill, and courage. Women who navigated childbirth, managed households, and ensured food and medicine survived not through privilege, but through mastery of practical arts, now largely forgotten. Their stories remind us that human ingenuity is timeless, and the challenges we face today, though different in form, call for the same resourcefulness and resilience. Studying their lives allows us to reclaim skills that enhance self-sufficiency, sharpen problem-solving, and deepen our appreciation for the comfort and security we often take for granted. The medieval world was brutal, yet it offered lessons in endurance that resonate across centuries. By exploring these strategies, we not only honour the ingenuity of women who lived through extreme adversity, but also equip ourselves to face modern challenges with foresight and courage. So, next time you consider survival, efficiency, or resilience, remember, the wisdom of medieval women still matters, and their legacy can illuminate paths we never thought to follow. Subscribe and continue exploring these hidden histories, because they hold lessons that are as vital today as they were centuries ago.